He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Venice, Florida, where a man adjusting a holstered gun in his waistband accidentally shot himself inside the Venice Walmart Thursday morning, according to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responded to the retail store Thursday morning after receiving reports of gunfire. Surveillance video captured a man entering the building with a holstered gun tucked into the waistband of his shorts. While the shopper was adjusting the weapon, deputies said the firearm discharged and struck him in the groin area.
Ooh.
Investigators confirmed the shooting was accidental and stated there was no threat to the public. Officials have not yet confirmed the current medical condition of the wounded shopper or if he was taken to an area hospital. It is also unclear if the man will face legal charges or if he still has a penis. I added that part. That wasn't in the news story. I did that anyway. Yeah, and it also did not say what model of firearm it was either,
And what holster he was not wearing.
and it said it was holstered.
Okay, so what? So his Uncle Mike's probably,
Yeah,
or something worse than Uncle Mike's.
or good holster and pistol that sometimes just goes off. When people kind of adjust it. I don't know. Anyway, so there's all that. We have, wow, what a weekend it was for the Great Plains Championship. It was a wild ride. Actually, it wasn't that wild a ride. It just had a really wild ending. We'll get into all of that, but we're going to go through the other stuff first. Patreon.com/NotAnotherShootingShow. Only $3.57 a month, and you will get all of every second episode every single week. I still have 407 comps in red and green available at notanothershootingshow.com/407comp. If you want the best deal you can possibly get on a 407 comp, which I think is, even though I didn't shoot it this weekend, it's the best dot you can get for the money, without a doubt. notanothershootingshow.com/407comp r/NESS on Reddit. Not Another Shooting Show on YouTube. Go there, do the like and subscribe thing. Mostly subscribe, please. We've got some videos going up here. Great Plains section, it's over. Never mind. Cornhusker Classic coming up in 3 weeks. That's sold out. Maybe you can get in off the wait list. Rushmore State Championship, July 11th and 12th. Get registered on Practice Score. The Cops match in July 26th near Des Moines, Iowa. Illinois section in Havana, Illinois, August 15th and 16th. And Minnesota section, August 29th and 30th at Forest Lake. Boom! All right,
Boom.
Jeff. Do we start at the end or do we start at the beginning? Because I think we start at the end.
I was going to start at the beginning of. It was so great to see, everybody.
Oh,
so
yeah, it was.
I got stopped by a lot of listeners. I really appreciate when you guys stopped me. I'm still awkward. I'm trying. I was possibly hungover. I don't know.
After I saw your post, yeah, you were. 1 a.m. and you're on your way back to your hotel.
Yeah, it was a good night. Brucey and Brent get me into trouble, but yes, it's all their fault, and I'm blaming them for my self-sabotage. But it was
real quick. It bugs me how much Bruce just never seems affected by your behavior when he's out with you the next day.
It's not my fault. He's more adult-like.
Yeah. Anyway,
but it was great to see everyone. Thank you for everyone who stopped by and said hello. It was very nice.
All right. So I want to start with the end of the match because the end is a wild story with, a lot of layers depending on where you were on the range and when it all went down. But so the new name of the match was rechristened the Great Rains Championship. Now, I take partial responsibility for this happening. Sure, it was a natural event, but I was sitting in a golf cart with our club president watching stage 10, and I was looking at the grass and how, it was all worn away and sort of turning into a dirt path in the shooting area of that stage. And it reminded me of Iowa section when it rained and it was awful and it was just mud. And I look over at Ryan and I said, man, we've never had rain at this match before. We've been really lucky. Of course, I should not have said
bastard.
that. Yeah, I know.
Jinxed us.
I basically did it. Even though rain had been in the forecast for days, still.
Yeah, but it was still like I checked it that morning. It was supposed to be like 6 p.m. And I was
Right.
like, oh, well, we're normally
We'll be
done
okay.
by 3, 4-ish. We'll be fine.
I think most stages would have been completed by 3:30.
Yep.
Easy peasy, done by 3:30. Had it not rained, the rain came at 3:06 p.m. and boy, did it fucking come.
Yeah.
I can't describe what it was like though because I was in the clubhouse when it hit.
So I can because Thomas and Andy were going around letting everybody know like gets a shooting because rain's a coming, and my squad was on the big bay on the 100, and so I was like, okay guys, let's go, come on, and I was the last shooter before the rain hit, and I think there was one or two people after me. I think it was one after me, but so like I kind of pushed myself extra hard on the stage, and it went relatively okay by comparison. And as we were finishing scoring, like I went to hit approve and it like started sprinkling, and you're like, okay, that's how rain normally stops or starts. No, it sprinkled and then it shit on us. I shared, I think it was Steven's post. They had little tents on all the bays, which most of the time would have been great for getting out of the sun.
Was for shade.
Yeah. When you tried to put 15
16 on your stage.
Yes.
We had 4 ROs there.
With the 4 ROs. Mm-hmm. And so 16 humans under these, it got, I don't know if intimate's the right word, but we definitely became a lot closer as a group.
Oh, wait, no, I did the math wrong. It would have been more like 19 because the squads were 15 this year.
Yep. And so, of course, none of us had umbrellas or anything like that. And a couple guys tried to bring their carts, and I'm like, no. So that was traumatizing. And then what was funny on our stage is, so it shit on us like sideways rain for about 10 minutes, and then it stopped. And I want to say it was like one more shooter, and so they ran him, and then it started fucking downpouring again.
Yeah.
And so they weren't able to score the target, so they're just standing there like, well, shit. And finally, I think it was Austin and someone else. Austin does IPSC matches sometimes, and so he's like, "What? Why do we use the IPSC thing?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
oh yeah, no, I understand it." And so the 2 ROs went down there, and I was translating the IPSC calls. And then when they got back, because it was lots of Alphas, Charlies, and then there was one Alpha Delta, and they were like, "Yeah, we called one Delta." I was like, "Okay, cool." We all got the information down. So, and then that was our last shooter.
There was a few stages I heard. Technically, shooters are not supposed to help with scoring or with tablets or anything, but when you have to try to keep it dry, because when water hits the screen, it freaks out and starts doing all kinds of crazy shit. There were a few stages where a competitor helped because it was just what had to be done, and under the circumstances, that was totally fine. Like that didn't bother me at all. I did feel bad because I was sitting in the clubhouse. I had already gone around and passed out the waterproof targets and warned everybody, "Hey, get them on. It's coming." And I got looks from the CROs like, "Are you serious? Like, we're almost done. You want us to change targets?" I'm like, "Yes. Rain is coming. Get them on just in case. We've got them. This is why we have them. Put them on." And it wasn't that big of an argument with anybody. It was just, nope, we need to do this. We got to do this. And so Thomas and I were, Thomas Howard, the range master, we were running around all the stages just telling them, hey, because I'd already distributed the targets and I just had I'd put them out as a just in case. And then as it got closer and closer, I changed my mind. I'm like, nope, let's get them on now. Because I had said like, do it after this squad. And then I was like, no, get them on. Get them, like, just get them on. And some of the stages had gotten swapped over. Some had not by the time the rain arrived. I had no idea it was going to be like as heavy a downpour as you could get. It was crazy.
Yep.
Austin, of one of the board members for my gun club, he does all the IT and the cameras, and he saved a bunch of videos. I haven't had a chance to go through them yet, but he saved a bunch of videos from our security system at the gun club of when the rain hit starting at 3:06 p.m. yesterday. It was, man. And the one video that has gone around social media that's really fun is Zach Schertz. Did you see his video? He just finished up on
probably.
9B.
Yes, yeah, he's shooting the weekend,
The weekend
and then
stage.
and
right as he finishes the unload and show clear, if clear, hammer down, holster, he holsters, and right as he turns around, like, whoosh, is when it hit. And they did the same thing you guys were. Like, everybody's crammed under a tent. And it was the Great Rains Championship. Bay 4 got flooded just in the rear shooting area.
Oof.
Like the first shooting area you were in. That was totally full of water. I posted a picture of that. I stopped and snapped a pic of that. 6 had a lot of water in the shooting area. The rest of them all, it just drained out. It wasn't a problem. And it was just because there happened to be low spots right where they were, and it just sort of pooled in the fault lines literally helped pool it. So,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, I want to hear, forget that you're my friend. I want you to give an assessment of Great Plains as a match this year. Like what you thought of it.
Great Plains as a match this year, I thought it was fun. There were several stages that I recognized they were traps for people who didn't fully understand the sport. And so there was a little conversation between the higher level shooters like, oh, okay, this is what we got to watch out for. This is it. But I recognize.
What do you mean by trap? Like what was a trap?
So, well, you actually confirmed it later when I was on Bay 4, the Mock Jesus Swinger. Is the trap was not the swinger, the trap was the poppers that you had to leave on.
Yes.
Because everyone was having the conversation about like, okay, do I take the swinger? Do I not take the swinger? Do I take it from the back? And I'm going, guys, don't do the potty dance on the steel, or you're gonna have a bad day. And I think it was Steven or Nick. Someone in my squad did the like miss steel jump back, and then was like bang, okay, go. But yeah, there was a few of those. I like the nice thing about Great Plains is there is just a big variation of stages because there were the small stages. Like, did I like the weekend only one? No. Was I supposed to? No. I enjoyed the one stage that height was a minor convenience. I also smoked a no shoot on that one, so it takes a little bit of the fun out of it.
Was that
and
6? The one
yes.
with the low wall at the beginning?
Yes, and that was also my last stage, so the rain was still coming and going, and so we were battling that as well. No, I really enjoyed all the different pieces to it. It had the little flavors that make it interesting. There were places to separate people, and other than a few things that I was like, ooh, how do I tell them they need to do something different? It was run very well. There was an RO team that someone wasn't standing where they should to see what they needed to see, and I wasn't really sure how to let them know about that. But other than that, the RO staff was great, and we moved through the day. There was no hiccups or hang-ups anywhere. Like no. I was never waiting on a squad.
Early in the morning, there were some backups on stage 1, only because stage 5 was really fast. It was a quick stage. There is a bit of a walk to it to get to 1, but not a huge walk. And Robert Olson was running stage 1, and he's a very good CRO, like as good as they get. And I don't know if they just hadn't quite hit their rhythm with the reset, and they had 2 movers on their stage, and it was a bit of a reset. But like later in the day, that stage was running like a fucking top, and they were like, I had to make them stop. He was going to start shooters right away after, like, we're done eating, we're going to start shooting. And I saw they were about to start shooting, and there's still like staff and shooters eating on 2 and 3, and I'm like, no. When your whole zone's ready, then you can start. And he's like,
yeah, no, I liked eating on the bays, and yeah, my squad, we ate pretty quick, and we're kind of sitting for a little bit, but I did like okay, let's go. Like,
we tried to move the lunch along as quick as possible, and as soon as every
one
shooter and staff was done eating in a zone, then that zone started. So I think zone 1 started before 2.
No, I think Zone 2 started first. Then
Yeah, you're right. Zone 2 started first.
Yeah, so that was really nice to not, be sitting around where everyone's sitting on the stage going, okay, the lunch hour's almost up. Yep, we got 10 more minutes before lunch is done. But yeah, no, the biggest complaint about your guys' range that this match kind of creates is, especially when you're on bays 1, 2, and 3, the lack of safety table and chitter on the far end of there can be kind of annoying. But
I know. It's so hard to walk 50 yards.
Well, when you gotta go, you gots to go.
Well, then run around the corner of the berm. No one's going to fucking see you. There's no camera there.
Yeah, but
that doesn't help Heidi, but she probably wouldn't mind anyway.
Those minor details. But no, of matches I've been to, I was not unhappy to be there, even with the getting soaked and all the fun that entails. Like,
makes for great stories.
It makes for great stories, and
it wasn't the whole match either.
Right. There were no stages where I was like, "This is fucking stupid. I wish I wasn't here right now." Like they were all had little, like, I liked the 100-yard range, long steel's always fun to shoot, because even if you go miss, bing, yeah, I got it, let's go. And I love that you intersperse that with like, okay, now hose the fuck out of these things.
Yeah.
It makes it, and that one actually had a lot of discussion and choices that you could make. Oh man,
that was without a doubt. 10 and 4 were the most talked about stages of the match for sure. Yep.
And so like I said, not just because you're my buddy and not just because it's my one of my my sectional. It's like it was a good match. I'm glad that I went. I'm not unhappy, and even there was nothing that I thought was overly challenging. Even your silly swinger that only presented through the port. Or at least I think that's what it was. I don't know. I was pissed off at that point. That stage was not my friend. Here's a word of advice for any newbies that may or may not be getting into the sport or starting to go to your majors. Don't play what if games on practice score. You will make yourself unhappy.
Because there's a lot of points out there to major.
There are. And, one mistake here means 4% on a nationally ranked GM, and you're like, if only. And you're like, well, did he have a mistake there? What about this? And it's like, on that stage, I had like a weird death jam. I still didn't completely understand what it was, so I had to strip. Like, I literally loaded mag, bang, malfunction. So I just stripped the mag, loaded another one, go, and then finished and maybe plugged a no shoot. But that 5 seconds puts me. I'm like, oh, now I'm actually in the competitive times. Oh, shit, let's go.
So I have some things that were messed up that I wished we had done different. And Matt Hartman is my Mr. Fix-It, and he did a bunch of work getting ready for the match. He built a bunch of new target stands.
The walls looked amazing.
The walls look great. Bob Gaylor did all those walls, and the match popped. It just did. I wish we had yellow netting. I couldn't find it, but the orange still looks very good with the blue walls. But Matt was he was lobbying hard for a few things because he was in charge of putting the movers together. Like, he's like the most gifted, mechanically inclined person I know. If he tells me we should do something, I'm like, okay. I might disagree with the presentation, but when it comes to like mechanically how it's going to go, I just 100% trust him. And also, well, this is going to be a lot easier than if we do this. I'm like, yeah, okay. And so on a couple of the swingers, as he was setting them up, he'd be playing with them. And so then he's sort of like playing with the stage at the same time. And the hallway stage, that was originally going to be like just a duel side swinger. And he's like, nah, let's make this over the top. Make it actually challenging, because those side swingers are just kind of dumb. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
They were. An over the top IPSC swinger, it's a challenging target. That swinger wasn't crazy fast, but when they're over the top, they just go away quickly and they're gone for a while. So he made a fantastic call on that one. He lobbied with me for Bay 4, where Mock Jesus was. And Mock Jesus was fast. It's just that when it dwells, it doesn't feel as fast. And so where the swinger exposed, it dwelled. You had pretty much all of the A zone from the rear and the front. I don't know what the front, downrange and uprange. You could shoot it from 2 different places.
Yep.
That was the 3 per stage. And he said, I think we should make it disappearing. And that was not the plan. The plan was to make it a non-disappearing target. And the more we talked about it, I was like, there were 4 of us, like, we had to. This is one thing where people get wound up about, like, oh, well, you guys were practicing. Well, guess what? I didn't win the fucking stage. Yeah, we all shadow shot that stage a shitload, but we were trying to figure it out, like, how this is going to be good for everybody else who comes to shoot this thing. So
right.
Somebody's got to do that. And so we had a quick guy, we had a fat guy, we had couple of M's,
fat guy,
a B who should be an A, and another, I think, B class shooter, like, ran it. And there was with the no penalty mics, like, was it worth throwing a round or 2 at him? Even when we got done with it, I was like, I'm not sure it's gonna be worth throwing bullets at, even 3 per. But if somebody can come off that popper, throw a couple of alphas at that swinger, then maybe it will be. So we just went with it. In hindsight, knowing what I know now, what it looked like, and here's a big shocker to some of you who will maybe never saw this. The head box was available from the other side of the wall while it was moving, the right side of the wall.
When it was in full, like, I noticed that pre-activation.
Yeah, when it was set, it was there. And that was the thing we missed. We totally missed it because we're so preoccupied with the exposure on the side we intended. We never really looked at the wall when the target was set because we were sitting at the back.
But what was that actually available once activated?
It still was. If you got there quick enough, because it would start to recede. It doesn't come all the way back. Yeah. So there were a couple of people who did take a hard look at it, and it's like, nope, it wasn't there. Bruce did that. He caught it on our squad. I was like, oh shit, we completely fucking missed that. Like, and that was the thing that we missed it. And in hindsight, I don't know if this would be good or bad, but in hindsight, I kind of wished we had made it non-disappearing, left it the way it was, but then that right wall that was, you could see through, because there's a banner on the left wall, so you couldn't see where the swinger was when you were at the beginning. If we had a small port, a reasonably Jeff accessible port,
yay,
but it would just, that's all you got was just that little port with it going by. I think that would have made it a little more interesting, but even the way it ended up, it was fine.
No, I thought it was good. The 3 per fucked a bunch of people. The long steel, long partials were messing with people, and the speed at which you had to take those 2 targets once you got up into the position, like, people got to test their split speeds. It was fun.
Oh yeah, like there were some like 11s and 12s, and there were some wicked trigger freeze as well.
Yes. Yeah, so
when you got up to those 2, because there was just 2 targets when you entered the downrange shooting area where it was like ba 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 ba, and yeah, it was that one. It turned out like an okay stage. Like, nobody said it was dumb, but the consensus was it wasn't worth shooting at the swinger. So
yeah, but it created, again, it was a trap for newbies, and it caught the steel trap caught a couple people, and it did its job. Is it a stage that I want to go set up at my next local? No. But am I unhappy I shot it? No.
That one target in the middle got shot 6 times, quite a bit.
Yeah. No, it everything did its job. Like, sometimes a stage can be decent. Like, maybe that one's a 6, 7 out of 10. Like, it's not a 10, but it's not bad.
It's a 6, 6.5. It's a 6, 7.
God, I forgot to kick you.
I know. I didn't even say it all weekend.
I know. It didn't remind me.
The other stage where I'm like, oh, we missed something, was 6. I had added that low target in the back behind the barrel.
Yep.
That you had to shoot from the right side because there was nothing forcing you really forward on the right side. As it turned out, you didn't really have to go that far forward anyway. But we had to fix the interior walls of that little short hallway at the beginning because things just got messed up. And so we fixed those. But what we didn't catch when we fixed those is that we screwed up the right wall that was blocking all the other stuff. It was now too far away and it exposed too much. Like those 2 poppers, you could shoot from just to the right of the hallway, which is where I ended up shooting it, even though the design of the stage was you had to go down those 4 feet to go get them.
Yep.
Or you could get them from the back right corner. You know, it was just a thing we overlooked. And when I saw it walking the stage when we shot, I was like, son of a bitch. Like, that was the only one that bugged me, where I'm like, fuck, we totally missed that. And because that's the great thing about having a bunch of experienced eyes walking that Friday before is, you know, you catch stuff. Bruce caught a huge one. Thomas would have caught it when he and I walked the whole match, but Bruce caught a huge one where there was 2 targets that people were just going to be like blasting into the wall if we hadn't fixed that.
Yep.
No, I'm glad you caught the trap on 4 because the entire idea of that stage was those 2 poppers. That was the inspiration, was set up a stage so that people have to leave a shooting area on a popper, because the logical order was to shoot the popper last before you leave. And Brendan Regath, I watched him shoot it, and he was like way gone. Like, he was gone. He did hit it, but like if he hadn't, he would have been doing that dance back and forth, back, you know, to go back and get it, because it was like his body was just about gone when he shot it. And it was like, yeah, you can buy some time if you do it that way, but if you miss, you're screwed. So I was happy with how that part of that stage turned out. I was really, really happy with stage 7, that kind of C-shaped stage.
Yeah, it did its job. Like I recognized I recognized the righty trap. For you lefties, it was barely a trap, but righties trying to plan your reload, you were like, ooh, I'm getting to very, very low before I find a reasonable point to reload.
I reloaded the same place all the righties did. I don't know what you're talking about.
You could have reloaded earlier, much easier.
Where?
You can. Well, from that, from once you finish the steel reload, middle, go forward.
Oh, okay. I just did it going forward over there, but yeah, there was like 20 rounds by the time you were heading forward.
It was 22. So, it was 20, but you had 2 mini steels at 20 yards. So the amount
they
of
were 20. They were like 15. I mean, they were a poke, but they weren't 20. Because that bay is only about 23 yards deep. So it's like our bays are a little shallow. Like the east bays, I wish we could use those more because they're deeper. You can get a little bit longer shots over there, but
yeah.
No, I was super happy with how that one turned out because it was just very flowy. You know, like there was pretty much a target you could be shooting at all the time if you just kept moving.
Yep.
And there was really only one way to shoot that stage, but I was super happy with how that one turned out. The stages that Spencer Miller designed for the match, the backing up one, I thought was cool. I thought the design was cool. I think we didn't build it right. It could have been better. But it was still, I thought it was still a good stage. It just that I couldn't decide if that last target, you had to there was nothing to do. You just had to go about 3-4 yards to shoot the last target.
Yep.
And it was just a little tough. But the other 2 stages he designed were super fun, and they were both the first stage you shot on the double bays. Those were both really fun, I thought.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to burn it down and try to keep her moving. Like that again, people. As much as the nerds talk about like technical blah, 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 I know that's a verboten word on this podcast.
Tactical Training Options was the name of stage 7, by the way.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. But people like to hose, and creating situations where it's like, okay, you got to hose and do it fucking right. But
there's a 16-yard popper you have to hit, mini popper.
Yeah, I mean that's the being able to speed up and slow down is the skill. And so I thought I liked 7. I really liked 4 because,
by the way, as we're talking about things that listeners are not going to, I meant to say this before we started talking about stages. by the time this drops, all of the stage, like my stage videos, I have a video of every stage, are going to be on our Reddit. So you'll be able to go to the Reddit, NASS, and like every stage will be there in a video. So you can go and see what we're talking about. So you know, because I hate it when it's like, oh yeah, everybody's talking about these details. And I meant to like detail what the stage was like. The one stage I was, we've talked about it a lot, and it's the one that always has like a long popper. They were at like 38 and 40 yards, a big Colt popper and then a mini popper behind it. And then so you had to do that. There's 2 super hosey targets right in front of you, and then there was like a 24-yard target you could only shoot from that beginning spot as well. But then there was another long target you could shoot from either there or from the end of the most uprange shooting area. But then there were 4 more targets in another shooting area. Everything was available from the rear. There was a rear sort of backwards J-shaped shooting area. And so then you had the 2 poppers on the right and then 2 low targets. And then you move around and then a bunch of hosey stuff you had to shoot on the move if you were going to keep moving. And then you get to the end of the shooting area. There was 1 long target about 20 yards through a port. And then like 3 others there that were all pretty long targets. And one of them wasn't bad. One was like 10 yards. But then there was that low hardcover one that was at like, shit, it was probably 30 yards. I was super happy with how that stage turned out because, again, options aren't the only thing. But what do you think the key was to that stage, Jeff, for whoever won it?
Well, it would have been
doing well on it, I should say.
It would have been calling your shots. Like if you knew that you hit that target at 25 yards, you were good to go. And your ability to go from slow, or like long shot, super fast flow, depending on if you ran up or not.
Yeah.
Did you run up?
I did.
Okay, so did I. That just felt more fun to me. I think.
I heard a lot of people say that. I just thought it'd be more fun to run forward, so I did.
There are like sometimes you just want to be like, I got a 10, 15 yard run. Let's fucking go, boys.
It wasn't even that far. It was like 8.5.
Okay, but that's a longer run than you can do on like 90%
most
of
stages.
USP.
Yeah,
and so it was fun. I saw people do the long shot, and I'm like, yeah, the bullet moves faster than your feet. Bullshit. But I'm like, get closer target, shoot bullets. It's fun.
I talked to Spencer. He was one of the ROs on that stage today, and I talked to Tristan yesterday, and who was the CRO for that stage. Nobody gets to know the stage better than the staff working it, because they see everybody shoot it. Yeah. And I asked Spencer today, I said, what was the key to that stage? And his answer surprised me. He said, hitting those poppers right away.
Yes. That was
the linchpin of the stage. Going forward, staying back didn't matter. Knocking those poppers down as fast as possible was the key to the stage.
Well, and this is something we might get to in this episode is one of the things I got into a kind of a coaching mood, and we'll talk about that later. But a couple of people on my squad tried to hit the Colt, transition to somewhere else, do thing, and get back on the mini. And
that's what I did.
Did it work?
No.
Exactly.
But you know who else I saw do that?
Who?
Lane and Carson.
Oh God, the two of the best shooters in the country.
Lots of people. Spencer said almost everybody shot it that way. And almost everybody paused on the target they were saving for later and then had to go to the actual target they were shooting from there. Like almost everybody.
Yes.
I saw Carson do it. I saw Lane do it. I got video of both of them doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just so hard to not stop your eyes on that target.
Yeah, because you were like, transition to Brown. Oh, shit, that's the one.
It was such a trap. And he said the smartest thing to do was just stay on the steel. He said people that, whether they started on the steel or whether they shot a low one first, that didn't matter. Like he thought shooting the steel first was kind of dumb. But some people did just draw to the steel. But just staying on it, it wasn't a time saver to shoot something else first because that distraction of 2 targets you could see but one you weren't supposed to shoot, that's on the way to the one you are supposed to shoot, it got almost everybody. He said it was like well over 100 people did that on main match day.
That's crazy to me because to nerd out for a second, that like 0.5 or 0.7 transition there and back, while it may have now it's out of the way, I'm transitioning to a little popper at 40 yards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, there it is. Yep. My dumbass, I actually hit the steel with the double action at 38 yards, then threw another one and hit it again, and not the one behind it. I was like, damn it, that could have been sweet.
Another thing, Spencer told me there were probably a dozen people who hit the mini behind the Colt first.
Yeah, they mentioned that. I was hoping to be one of them.
Not intentionally, of course.
No.
There was, I never noticed it, but there was just a sliver of the mini visible from right at the edge of the wall. And so if you kind of missed, it was possible to hit the mini instead of the Colt that was in front of it. But no, I'm kind of proud of that stage, how that turned out and how it kind of, it sucked people in. There were a lot of mics in the tight spot on the left where it was hosey, but it was tight. And people got into the hardcover and just going too fast,
Yep.
But I did see Logan Prokai, I think is how you say his name, Minnesota guy. I saw his video of that stage, and he drew straight to the paper on the left.
Yep.
And then it's a lot easier to go to the only steel on the stage. From there, I was like, oh, that was smart. That's what. Shit! I wish I would have done that. I have a confession to make about that stage.
Okay.
When I shot it,
Okay.
I got a reshoot I should not have got.
Oh, really?
I did. So the first time I shot it, I went to war on that mini popper. It just wasn't happening. I sent like 8 rounds at it, I think. And on the last round I fired, I was leaving after that one, even if I didn't hit it. Luckily, I hit it, or what, maybe not. I don't know. So I go through the rest of the stage, and I'm just going like my ass is on fire. And I get down to the end, and when you got to the downrange part, the target that was a hard left behind the wall, I go to shoot it, and I can see bullet holes are already on it, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, I'm going to have to reshoot this thing or whatever. Now, of course, that's always my instant reaction. Then after I realized, oh, I spent like 10 seconds shooting at the mini popper. This is probably going to be okay. And Josh comes down, and he's like, oh, yeah, we can't score this. There's like 2 Charlies and 2 Alphas, and I have no idea what the last shooter shot. So I end up getting the reshoot. And then I reshoot it. I get down there, I go to shoot that same target, and I see almost the same thing again. There's an Alpha and a Charlie on it, and I shoot it, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, what the hell? Are you serious? Why can't anybody paste this target? They did paste it. I shot it through the port both times.
Beautiful.
But Josh didn't catch that I shot it through the port the first time.
Right.
He did the second time. And he said, it's a good thing you shot it down there because one of your first bullets went through the wall and you were going to need a mic.
Speaking of almost eating a mic, I have a funny story about this.
Okay.
So on stage 7, the flowy one, I shot it okay, but it was a little whatever. And so we're scoring, and we get there, and the RO calls me over, and he's like, oh, there's a hole in the banner. I think one of these is the mic. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I remember like not being in the way of it. And then someone goes, were you squatting? And I was like, wait a second. And so my squad had I had 5 people in the port to see this target. And I got around them, and they were in my way, and I yelled at people. I was like, get the fuck out of the way. And so everyone clears, and I hold my hand up, and the fucking hole in the what were they, Target USA?
It was Coroplast. The yard sign sort of plastic.
So the yard sign thing, the hole was about 1.5 feet below where my hands are, even when I was in a somewhat athletic squat.
Oh.
So I was like, this couldn't have been from me. And so that was one time my height saved me.
That stuff was super handy because what we could have done, we did not. The whole thing was hardcover, is how we treated it. Something you could do, though, is use the black as soft cover, because then you still have a scoring line, where it turned red. John sent those to us with. We had ordered a bunch of Targets USA stuff for the club this year, and there was a just mistake. Box of parts didn't get shipped, and so we called him the week before, and we're like, "Oh, our section match is next week," and we just tore into these boxes, and so he sent it right away. We got it on Monday because we called him on Thursday. He got it to us by Monday, and he asked if we wanted some of those things. He was telling me about them. I was like, "Oh, are those the things they had the belt championship?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hell yeah, yeah, sure, we'll take them." So use them. They're super handy. A lot easier to put up with a stapler than a little piece of plywood with a screw gun. So the only negative of that stuff though is it doesn't really take the grease ring away from a bullet.
Yep.
So if it does go through the wall and you still got that number of hits, if you don't remember how many shots were fired at it, it can be hard to tell which one was which.
Yep.
That's the only negative of it, and that's not like a grease ring is not the end all be all of bulletproof, but it is evidence of a hit on a target, but it's not the only evidence. But
yeah.
But yeah. What else? We had. I think the most DQs we ever had at Great Plains was this year.
Really?
I think.
Was
we
there a
had
specific
4
day?
Well,
Yeah.
there was one who was a guy I know from Sioux Falls here. He's still relatively new. I think it's his second year competing. First major match he's ever shot. And he was shooting on 4, and he looks back at the RO and says, like, he had just put the mag in, racked it, and he looks back and says, "This is 3 per, right?" Yep. And then he holstered it. Forgot to decock his Shadow 2.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, and then immediately he said, RO says stop, and he looks back like, "What?" And he immediately goes, "Oh no!" And he knew what he did right away. And,
But one task at a time, boys. One task at a time.
Yep. And he just distracted himself, and he was really annoyed, but he was still having fun walking around watching afterwards because he was walking around without a belt on. I was like, "Are you shooting?" He's like, "Yeah, I got DQ'd," and told me the story. I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah. I know one guy DQ'd from my club.
All of the rest of them were on that stage.
The weekend.
Yes.
The weekend 8-3 DQs.
Yep. And that was all of them. There were 4.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think we've ever had more than 2 or 3.
There maybe should have been 5. But so one of the boys from my club, my homeboy Andy, other Andy, we think he got flustered on his reload or something on bay 2 because it was our first stage, and he goes into the right port, and I think he was going to run down the hall or something, but he put the gun from my position in the back. It looked like the gun, he put it behind him as he was running, almost like I don't even know.
And, like that IPSC guy?
Yeah. And it got called stop, which I'm not going to lie. Standing next to it, I was like, or standing in the back, my butt puckered. I was like, oh shit, fuck. Oh, poor guy. But through the magic of video and some crafty arguments, he was able to explain that even with the gun behind his back, that it probably didn't break the 180 because the wall was not on the 180. It was at an angle. And so because it was at an angle, yada, yada, yada. He's a car salesman. He's good at this shit. And he survived the argument with Thomas Howard, who is not a person that if you win against Thomas, you won. I don't believe that he gives up because I've watched him never give up on an argument.
But he's also reasonable if you have video proof. And I didn't hear the whole story. All he told me was, "Oh, we had a DQ call that was overturned by video." I was like, and he did mention there was a long discussion, and then got the video out, and he said it definitely provided more evidence of not a DQ than of a DQ, so we overturned it.
Yeah, and yeah, he sided with the runner, and we were all shocked and happy for Andy, and he proceeded to shoot a decent match. Not his best, but a decent one. But it was one of those just like, oh shit, that rule was actually helpful.
Yeah.
Andy also proceeded to be the worst salesman on the planet because he used all of his salesman energy on Thomas. So Andy doesn't reload. But after Bay 5, he gets done shooting and immediately goes to the cart.
Doesn't refill his magazines?
No. Salesman. He walks back to the price table. The guy in the side by side. Dan. And he draws and wins like the pound of tight group. And he kind of looks at it and goes, oh man, I don't reload. And so Dan goes, well, you can redraw if you want. And he goes, okay. And pulls nothing. And so he walks back and he goes, he walks back to the Omaha gang and goes, guys, guess what I did? I got this like powder. It was called like tight something. But I don't reload. So he just let me draw again. And we're like, you fucking moron.
Dumbass. I would have bought that from you at half price for $20.
Right. There is 7 people on this squad that would have given you cash right now. Gun belt still on for that. And he goes, oh, you guys would have used it? Yes, motherfucker.
We only got useful prizes for the match.
Right. He apparently doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, apparently not. That's funny. No, we gave away pacer guns, butt fans. Guy in my squad, actually, Aaron, he just really wanted tight group because he reloads and obviously powder's expensive, so he was really hoping for a pound of tight group. But he got the butt fan, and every time I looked at him when he was not about to shoot, he's standing over there with the fan either pointed up his shirt, down his pants in the front or down his pants in the back. But he hadn't done the back yet. I said, have you done it down the crack yet? He's like, no. I said, it's a life-changing experience. Especially when it's really hot and muggy like it was this weekend. It was, Great Plains has always traditionally been like either really nice or cool.
Yeah, because
it's cold. Because it's mid-May. It was always mid-May, and it was, the weather can be anything that month of the year. And June's usually just hot.
Yep.
So.
And it was. And I'll blame a little bit on my self-sabotage, but I drank a gallon and a half of Gatorade and a few waters and a soda or two. And I had to pee once that day. Mm-hmm. I was like, holy fuck. I need to hydrate like a ton more.
It wasn't as hot Sunday, but it was humid as hell.
It was humid, but like my not working outside because I'm not a real man with hard hands or whatever the fucking joke is. But I was like, oh, it's, sun's not out. It's kind of cloudy. It's low 80s. Like, okay, I'll be fine. And I was just chugging these things. I'm like, Jesus Christ, am I always this dehydrated? So I'm going to up my hydration game.
We never did quite finish off the DQs. All but one of them came from one stage, and it wasn't. I wouldn't blame the stage. Luke Elwood, Mr. Miata.
Mr. Miata.
That's a great nickname. I just thought of that now.
He's Mr. Miata.
Mr.
Miata. Now we got to interview him again so we can call an episode Mr. Miata.
Mr. Miata. Oh, and him being Asian doesn't make it funnier either. Tadra from down at, she lives in Dallas now. Used to live in Phoenix. Is originally from Canton. She's come up to the match a few times. And with her husband, and they know each other. And he was joking that, like, hey, at least my trip up here will return the Korean population of Canton to 1. And if Tadra had come, it would have been 2. But no, the DQs. Luke said one of them was their weak hand just hit the wall as they were coming around the corner, and then went. And it broke the 180. They just got too close to the wall going around the corner, and that's how it happened. The other two, because it was a start anywhere, they started on the left that was slightly downrange. It was like 4 feet downrange.
Yep.
And then they shot the first target, and then they came around being a left-handed thing that right-handed guys don't do. They broke 180 coming around the corner of the wall.
Yep.
And so he said in hindsight, he would have just had a start position. And I suppose if you're going to 100% bulletproof it from a DQ, that stage was like right up against the berm. So, it wasn't, DQs happened there, but like it wasn't unsafe. It wasn't like people were endangered. It was just, people don't shoot weak hand only and then move. And the only reason I had it start anywhere was because I thought lefties might want to start on the left, but I was a lefty and I started on the right. So, anyway, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
So you were coaching a bunch on your squad? Were you coaching Steven? What pointers did you give Steven?
I don't give Steven pointers because I see Steven, if at minimum my peer, if not a step above me, because like he knows what he's doing. He's been at the level he's at for long enough that some of the lessons have downloaded or are starting to download, and he knows what he's trying to do. It was mainly Owen Heidi and Andy Battern that they are working up into that masterclass mindset because they all have the ability, like physical, mental, practice, focus, they have all the things, but there are certain like M-class mindsets that I can impart on them, like the grand old wizard that I am, that it's like, oh, here's the thing. Like one, I remember specifically with Heidi is she had one where she forgot a target because she got flustered or something. And I think I told Owen this too on a different stage. I was like, hey, you get a pout as long as you need. That's fine. I support it. It stays here. And when we go to the next bay, it doesn't exist. We're just doing another thing. And it was, I found I like trying to help people. I basically coach for a living, so I like coaching and trying to help people because I see their potential. They all have this like very, very, very high level potential. It's just refining those weird little lessons you don't learn. Like Nick's another great example of someone. It's not his shooting, it's the mental aspect.
Well, yeah. Once you hit A class, more of your issues are mental than they are physical.
Yep. Or at least shooting related. Because, I mean, I know a couple of M-class dudes that will never be fast.
But I mean, still, I took a big lesson away from, for some reason, like last weekend at our club match and this weekend, most of Great Plains, I was not in that mindset I was after the Adam Grimm class where I'm like, find all the places to cut time.
Right.
Like, I just wasn't looking for them. The one stage where plus I was also incredibly distracted at both matches, like running things.
Your match staff. It's a very different world. Anyone who's never been a match director doesn't understand how taxing it truly is.
And I actually, I felt like I shot pretty good considering that. But the one stage where I actually was looking for all of those things and did them was on stage 2, which usually when I am in, scoring close to, Ben Eggleston on a stage or some of the other hot shit CO shooters, it's usually going to be on a short course because I don't move as quick as those guys do. But the thing was on that stage, though, Ben shot it in 2032. Lark, God, he's quick, 1947. Michael Etzkorn in 2155. Lane in 19. I shot it in 2197. Like, I was right up there. I was 5th best score on that stage. And that wasn't a stand and shoot kind of stage or just like a couple steps here and there. Like, you had to run around a lot.
Right.
And I'm a fat, slow guy. But I looked for all those places to cut time. Every single place. I was even, as soon as gun was through port, bop, bop. Like, that low target got shot immediately. And that's just what I wasn't doing most of the match. Like, I wasn't leaving the gun up. I wasn't firing the second I could have. I gave up so much time. And 10 was a disaster. As much as I am proud of that stage as a match director, oh God, it was a dumpster fire for me as a shooter. I've never shot that stage well. No, whatever stage I put in that bay, I've never shot it well. I always shit the bed on that stage. I don't know why. I just always have, but that's why I'm looking forward to Cornhusker, where I'm just running a stage. I don't have to do anything before it. I just show up Saturday, shoot the match, and I'm going to try and kick ass, you know?
Right. Yeah, there's a part of me with my performance this year that I'm learning little tidbits here and there. You're a Kevin Costner fan.
Yeah, I was once the busser for his table at the Midnight Star, Jake's atop the Midnight Star in Deadwood. Yes, I did. I poured his iced tea for him.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. But he had a style of sports movie he made.
They were baseball.
He also did golf once.
Oh,
my dad loved Tin Cup, so
he had that one football movie too, but he was old by the time he did that.
Yeah, but he was always like the grizzled veteran that could have been, and then they bring him in to like unfuck everything going on around him, and some days I feel like that. I don't know. I see the potential that I could do if I stop fucking sabotaging myself, but I can't make the right decision.
You mean the night before when Bruce and Gravel Truck are in town?
I don't get to see them that often. I saw that it was like a whole month since I saw them.
Yes, you don't. You only see them like at every major match,
right? But and it was the dumbest decision I could have made. I knew it was a dumb decision when I was making it, but I have a deep-seated fear of missing out, like deep in my soul. And so they're like, hey, let's go grab another drink. And I'm like, cool. And I was exhausted when I got to the walkthrough. Like I only walked through like 3 stages because I was already tired. And I got back to my hotel, showered, and I texted them. I'm like, you guys need to tell me a place I'm going, because if my head hits the pillow, I'm not getting back up. And I went out with them, found a new head of steam because my brain is stupid, and was out till 1:00 in the morning. And even in the moment, I'm like, you're dumb. You're just dumb, because going back to the what if game, minus my like malfunction bullshit, I was semi-competitive. Like without that malfunction, I would have been like 88 or 89% of lane. So,
By the way, we never did say who won. Lane Grease won CO.
Woo. But he's not the Great Plains champion because he's from Iowa.
And we have to go down to number 4 before we hit the Great Plains champion. None other than Steven.
It's fucking Tuesday.
Tomlinson.
Damn it, I didn't realize that. Fuck.
Yeah. He's the Great Plains champion. By an eyelash over. Oh no, he's from Kansas. Never mind. By an it's still kind of an eyelash over Aaron Schnorr. He was second place in the section.
That fucking sandbagging piece of shit. I'm Aaron. Fuck you.
Oh, by the way, there were 90 shooters in CO at Great Plains, and it will not count as a classifier in Carry Optics for anyone. All
Fuck
because
you, Lark.
No. Well, Lark's an M.
Well, Lark is an open GM, isn't he?
I know. No, he's not a GM in anything. I was surprised by that too. I always thought he was a GM. He's not a GM.
Oh, damn it, Lark! Stop sandbagging.
No, you have Craig Bluestreak Okenfuss to blame for this, because he shot himself 4 mics, a no shoot, and had a procedural for something. I don't know what. And he was the 3rd Grandmaster, but at 89.11%.
No, Andrew Yoder also let us down by 0.32%.
Oh, yeah, but it's more fun to blame Craig.
It is Craig's fault because he had the time.
I missed that. Andrew was a GM too.
He shot it.
Oh man, he was so close.
Craig shot it as fast as Eggleston, except for all of the mics
points
and none of the alphas.
Jesus.
And
Eggleston shot 92% of the points.
yeah, like
Wow.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a great time. I was watching my videos and I found all of the time I lost. It was fucking missing steel. I guarantee
yeah.
I probably threw 30 makeup shots.
It's
It was bad. Like I am going to readjust. I don't practice. I'm going to readjust my training to give steel the respect it deserves, because I've been getting away with like basically like using the force and just be like bing, and it's like haha, that's an effective way to do that, said nobody ever. So steel will be shot, and if it is not hit, then the run does not count type mentality, because it was fucking bad. And the one stage that didn't have steel, I don't have a fucking video of. I'm very annoyed by that. But I am also just happy that I have it. Anyone who has an Insta360, make sure not to leave the action cube thing facing up in your cart when the heavens open up and piss on you.
Oh.
Because I went back to my cart just to be like, oh shit. Yep. Like my cart apparently is waterproof because it held all of the water. And my action cube was like sitting on my bag face up. And so there was just a pool of water where the camera should be. And so I dumped it out and said, well, that's fucked. And I just left it in my truck.
Let it dry.
Tried to dry it, and I plugged it in on the way home, and it charged, and so far so good. I was able to pull 10 of 11 videos out of my phone. But
I have a rain story that's secondhand. But Tristan, the CRO on 10 where you were,
yep,
when the rain hit, Tristan drives quirky old vehicles or a motorcycle to every match.
Yep,
and he has a 90-something Trans Am. He drove down. I mean, you could hear Billy Squire like when he was rolling into the range. And he was running the shooter, I believe he said, on the last shooter before the
yeah, he was my RO. Yep.
Yeah. And then the heavens opened up, and he goes, like he said in his head, he goes, "Are my T-tops off?" My T-tops are off. Shit. Hauls ass back to his car. He and Spencer get the T-tops out, and go to put them in. Both realize at the same time we're on the wrong side. They do a Chinese fire drill, switch sides, get the T-tops in, but his car is just like full. There was like water on the floor, like standing.
Does the classic just shoots a bullet through it, drains it?
The son of a bitch! I got a hole in the boat. You ever seen that clip?
Oh yeah.
From some dumbass show. He's like, there's a fish like flopping around the boat, and he pulls out this giant revolver and he tries to shoot the fish. Son of a bitch! There's a hole in the boat. That video's so good. I don't know why it cracks me up just thinking about it so much.
You're gonna have to put it on the fucking Reddit. Hey Tristan, this is how you get the water out of your car.
There's a hole in the boat. It's just like fucking full-long revolver. He shoots it straight into the floor of the boat. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it back together here.
Fucking figure it out, bud. Don't you know?
I'll put that on the Reddit along with the with all the stage videos. Fuck, I have it on either my Dropbox or my phone somewhere. Anyway, one thing you put on here. Let's talk more about the rain, because that was a thing that had I been outside, it would have caught me off guard, because I wasn't shooting. I didn't even have my guns with me that day, you know. But yeah, everything got soaked. Everybody, Aaron and Spencer and Tristan, they actually called the range master over to 10 to ask them, can we RO with our shoes off?
Oh, damn.
because their feet were soaked. Like there's water squishing in there, like, and they were on the grass base, so it was fine except for brass kind of hurts when you step on it with bare feet.
As someone who wears flip flops to the range, I was about to say the brass kind of hurts.
But on the left side of the shooting area, there's no brass.
Fair enough.
So yeah. I went over there one time after the rain, and I saw Aaron walking back with his shirt off. This is an RO at my match. With his shirt off, his shoes off, and he's holding a tablet walking back. Like, oh, sure, of course. This makes perfect sense. Yes, this is...
Yeah, dark off, boys.
It was so wild. But they were like, are we allowed to? And Thomas is like, there may be a range rule against it.
But there's no USPSA.
In other words, I'm not answering this question.
Go ask your mom.
Yeah, that was pretty much the response. But so what did you do? Like, all your shit got wet.
Yeah, so first I went over to my car and basically pulled everything out. Luckily, there were no ROs in the area because I pulled out all my backup gun and all that stuff because my gun bag was soaking wet, so all the guns were soaking wet, and so I put those in my middle console to like try to let them drain. And then when I got home, I wanted to go to sleep, but I spent about an hour pulling all the mags out, everything, wiping them down with a towel. I was so tired, I didn't fully disassemble the mags, which is what I'm going to do after we get done recording, and fully take them apart to make sure there's no rust and shit in them. Yeah. I've gun medic and I'm spraying things with it a lot. People might question if I'm huffing it with how much I've sprayed, but that's my idiot opinion. I also have glass cleaner for my optics because a few of them got they have water stains on them from the humidity and moisture that was still in the bag when they got put away. But that's what I'm doing. If anyone has any tips, like Owen does real man work in real like weather places. So if he has any advice, I'm sure he'll hear this and send it to me. I mean, it will be 2 days late, and I will probably put everything away. But going into my next match, no matter what, I'm bringing a fucking tarp and putting it over my cart. Like, I don't care anymore. It'll keep things out of the sun. And if God forbid it rains again, everything won't be fucked.
Yeah. The thing that sucks about rain jackets is they don't breathe. You know, you're putting up, even if it is like a cool, fancy, Patagonia or Arc'teryx, some thing like that costs $400 or $500, it still doesn't breathe. And when it's 80 degrees outside, although it got cold during that little storm, it's just terrible. Like, you get so hot. But I used to carry like one of those little Walmart camping ponchos in my range bag, and it's not in there anymore. I have no idea where it went. I think it got used one time when I was not at a match, and I never put it back. And plus, they're so cheap. Like, I just throw it away. It was like $5.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to make sure I have something in there before Cornhusker, because I just don't want to get stuck in a match and just be like, I'm wet today.
Right. Shout out to Dan on my squad. He had a bucket O shower caps. The like $1 ones.
Oh, yeah.
And he handed them out to the squad. He's like, here you go, boys. Take one. I was like, ooh, thank you. I did not have one of those.
I'm not when we did the Adam Grimm class, like, it rained all day. And I didn't even mess with my gun. I didn't take it out of the holster. I didn't try to hide it in anything. It just got rained on all day. And it wasn't really a problem.
I've had a raindrop hit exactly where the dot goes, and it made me have a bad day. So I am a cover the gun person at this point.
As soon as the raindrop hit where the dot goes, as soon as I fired the first shot, the raindrop was not there anymore. So
mine stayed.
Are you sure it was water?
Do you think I've spit in it?
Or was it oil or something more viscous that doesn't come off and recoil?
I don't know.
Because with the first shot, all the water was gone. Oh no, my cover was gone by then. My target focus trainer. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, well, it was super fun. I'm very glad it's over. And I gotta give a huge thank you to all my staff that worked the match, especially the people who helped set it up. Matt and Mike and Bob were out there damn near every day. And Bob rebuilt all those walls, or built new walls and painted almost all of the lumber. I painted like 36 boards, and my son painted like another 18. And outside of that, Bob painted everything that you saw that was blue there. So, but no, our staff was awesome this year. We had a bigger staff than last year, and we just had more people wanting to help. You know, the sport's growing, and so it's a lot of new blood on the staff this year too, and way more local staff. You know,
that's fantastic.
We always have some, you know, like most probably half of the CROs, not quite half of the CROs are from out of town. I'm trying to think. Like, well, no, I think only 4 of them were out of town, or not local to the Sioux Falls, but like one was Bruce, you know, one was Mr. Miata, and then Tom and Sandy, and I think that was, and then Brian. So I guess we had about half of the CROs were out of town. So, but we've got more CROs now, and I'm planning on having a CRO class next year too. So, not that I don't want all those fine people coming back, but yeah, no, it was a good time. I'm so glad it's over though, because now I get to go back to normal life again. Yeah, and tomorrow we're recording this Monday night. There's one thing I can guarantee you about Tuesday, June 9th. I am not going to that fucking range. And I am going to stay indoors in air conditioning all fucking day. There is zero chance of me going outside other than to maybe get the mail, maybe to run some errands, but I'm not going outside tomorrow. It's just not happening. I'm going to stay in the air conditioning all day.
All day.
All day. Anyway, one more thing I want to talk about that is also still match related is I don't know if anybody else is having problems with Practice Score, but we had a lot of problems with Practice Score this weekend. Saturday was a dumpster fire, and we could not get score logs to upload. So, like, people weren't getting emails. I got all but one of my emails when I shot Saturday, but we would get to a stage, and there'd be, like, 14 missing scores or failed score log uploads or whatever. And I was just like, oh, my God, what is going on? And I know I'm going to get text messages or DMs from people who go, oh, you should have just got a hold of so-and-so and given them a call. Well, their number's not fucking listed anywhere. So, and I don't have it. I don't know what the deal was, but what we eventually figured out is that if you are running a master that is an iOS product and all of your tablets are Android, don't. Because as soon as I quit using the iPad to post scores, the problems seem to go away. Whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea. It's not a network problem at my range. We have as good a network as any range in the country because all of our cameras are on those. And then we add another repeater for the East 3 bays for a section. So the network's not the problem. I don't know what the hell the deal was, but I just know Practice Score 1, we used last year when they'd said, we're not going to support it anymore after such and such day. And I told Josh, he was running it last year. I just said, fuck it. We're using 1 because we know it works.
Right.
There's no reason to not use the thing that works when you're having a major match. Like, why not use the thing that you know works?
Yeah, of course.
And then this year we used 2 and we had just problems. And yeah, it worked at Area 3, but for the most part, it's... And maybe that was the whole problem with the iOS thing. You know, I had a iOS tablet as a master and uploading it just wasn't jiving. But I was getting errors when I would just post a practice score. Like I'd get a bunch of code error. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And every time I post a question in the support forum there, all I get back is a question. And
Like, just make it work in all conditions, like not special places. Like, well, if you've got your network set up, no, it should just fucking work. Like, just make a product that fucking works, like Practice Score 1. That just fucking worked. Can we have it back, please? You know? Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off that soapbox. I'm looking forward to whoever's email I get. Anyway, are we good, Jeff?
Yeah.
I think we're good. Great Plains was fun. Anyway, he is Jeff King. And also...
I'm proud of my little wiener.
And I'm Andy Erickson. That was for Jeff, not me. Sounded like it was for me.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
It didn't. Oh, shit.
God damn it, you fucking bitch.
And this is not another shooting show.
It's fucking Tuesday.
It's fucking Tuesday.